In the dim corridors of human thought, the concept of genius shines like a solitary, flickering torch, illuminating the minds of a few, while casting long shadows for the many. It is a word steeped in reverence, often misunderstood, and too frequently misused. To call someone a genius is to declare them touched by something transcendent, as if they were a vessel for ideas too large for ordinary minds. But what truly defines genius? Is it a measure of intelligence, a product of obsession, or the offspring of divine madness? To begin untangling the dense web of genius, one must journey backward, past the laboratory and the lecture hall, beyond the canvas and the stage, to the ancient world. The Greeks, in their poetic wisdom, did not see genius as a quality of the individual. Instead, they spoke of the daimon, a guiding spirit that whispered ideas into the ears of mortals. Socrates claimed his daimon steered him away from folly. The Romans adapted this into the word genius, referring not to a person's intelligence, but to their tutelary spirit. Thus, the original philosophy of genius was not self-possession but spiritual companionship. Genius was not within you, it came to visit. This early view raises a profound philosophical implication. Genius is not solely born, but bestowed. It is neither earned nor entirely controlled. The individual becomes a conduit, a flute played by the wind of inspiration. This interpretation still lingers in our language today when we speak of people channeling their genius, or when artists feel possessed by their work. Yet in modernity, we have largely internalized the idea. Genius now resides inside us, a product of brain chemistry, intelligence, and effort. But does this shift reflect reality, or merely a cultural desire to make the sublime seem scientific? To ask what genius is, one must distinguish it from mere intelligence. Intelligence may solve problems. Genius reframes them. Intelligence follows the rules. Genius reinvents them. A high IQ might allow a person to master a musical composition. Genius invents an entirely new form of music. Genius is creative originality, the ability to rupture paradigms and birth new worlds. In this way, genius is less about cognition and more about vision. It is not the lamp, but the flame. But herein lies the peril. To see the world differently is to risk alienation from it. Many of history's geniuses, Nietzsche, Van Gogh, Emily Dickinson, Tesla, led lives tinged with isolation, obsession, even madness. The line between genius and madness has long been a topic of philosophical speculation. Aristotle once observed that no great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Perhaps this is because the genius, in their radical clarity, sees too much. Like Prometheus stealing fire from the gods, they burn their hands in the act of illumination. There is also a moral tension in genius. Is it a gift or a burden? A public service or a private agony? The genius may create for the world, but often at great personal cost. Beethoven composed his Ninth Symphony in complete deafness. Virginia Woolf wrote her most searing novels while battling inner storms that would ultimately consume her. The philosopher might say that genius is the fire of consciousness turned inward and intensified, so powerful it both creates and destroys. In our contemporary world, we celebrate genius with awards, headlines, and admiration, yet we commodify it too. We demand that geniuses be marketable, productive, charismatic. In doing so, we risk sterilizing the wildness of their vision. We forget that true genius is often unruly. It may speak in strange tongues. It may refuse to explain itself. It may appear, at first glance, as failure. This invites another question. Can genius be cultivated? Or is it the rare convergence of personality, circumstance, and time? Philosophically, this touches on the age-old debate between nature and nurture. While raw aptitude may be innate, the flowering of genius seems to require certain conditions: solitude, curiosity, tolerance for ambiguity, and often, a degree of suffering. It thrives on contradiction, rigorous discipline and reckless spontaneity, egotism and humility, solitude and connection. Perhaps it is less a fixed trait than a mode of being, a way of engaging with reality that is both deeply intimate and expansively universal. In this sense, the genius is not a category of person, but a state of consciousness. It is the child who asks, why? Not once but endlessly. It is the mathematician who dreams of equations. It is the painter who sees color where others see gray. Genius is not about knowing more, it is about seeing differently. And those who see differently, if brave enough to speak, change the world. So where does this leave us? It leaves us with awe, perhaps. And with responsibility. Genius must not be idolized blindly nor dismissed cynically. It must be listened to, carefully, with discernment and reverence. The philosophy of genius reminds us that human potential is both fragile and boundless. That within each person may flicker a spark that could, if nurtured, become a new sun. And that perhaps the greatest act of genius is not invention or discovery, but the courage to live one's truth in a world not yet ready to understand it. Finally, it asks us to look inward. Genius is not an elite club. It is a possibility, a mode of engagement with life that is available, in some form, to all of us. Not everyone will write symphonies or develop theories of relativity. But everyone can be original. Everyone can be awake. And in that wakefulness lies the beginning of genius.